All right, where are we at? Prolog, part 4. So Zarathustra had found this town gathering because they were all watching a tightrope. They were all about to watch a tightrope walker act, routine, gimmick, I don't know. And he started preaching at them, and they started kind of they're heckling him. um, Zarathustra, however, looked at the people and wondered. Then he spake thus. The man is a rope stretched between the animal and the Ubermensch, a rope over the abyss, a dangerous crossing and a dangerous wayfaring, a dangerous looking back and a dangerous trembling and halting. What is the great what is great in man is that he is a bridge and not a goal. What is lovable in man is that he is an overgoing and downgoing. I love those who know not how to live except downgoers, for they are the overgoers. And I love the great despisers because they are the great adorers and arrows of longings of another shore. And I love those who do not first seek a reason beyond the stars for going down and being sacrifices, but sacrifice themselves to the earth. And the earth of the supermen may hereafter arise. And I love him who liveth in order to know and seeketh in order to know. The superman may hereafter live, thus seeketh his own downgoing. I love him who laboreth and inventeth that he may build the house of the superman and prepare him for earth, animal, and planet, thus seeketh his own down going. I love him who loveth his virtue, and his virtue is the will to down going, and an arrow of longing. Hey, crazy. And I love him and I love him who loveth his virtue, for virtue is the will to down going and an arrow of longing. I love him who reserveth no share of spirit for himself, but wanteth to be holy to the spirit of virtue. Thus walketh he as a spirit over the bridge. And I love him who maketh his virtue his inclination to destiny. Thus, for the sake of his virtue, he is willing to live on or live no more. Annihilation. I love him who desireth not too many virtues. Nietzsche says, one virtue is more of a virtue than two, because it is more of a knot for one's destiny to cling to. I love him whose soul is lavish, and who wanteth no thanks, and doth not give back, for he always bestoweth, and desireth not to keep to himself, for himself. I love him who is ashamed when the dice fall in his favor, and he asketh, am I a dishonest player? For he is willing to succumb. This is a person who is uncomfortable with fate steering his destiny, or destiny steering his fate. This is a person that derives his destiny with his will. I love him who scattereth golden words in advance of his deeds, and he always doeth more than he promised, for he seeketh his own downgoing. So this is, you always do more than you promise. This is, you always over deliver. That's true. You always over deliver. I love him who justifieth his future ones and redeemeth the past ones, for he is willing to succumb through the present ones. And I love him who chasteneth his God, because he loveth his God, for he must succumb through the wrath of his God. And I love him whose soul is deep, even in the wounding, and may succumb through small matter, thus goeth he willing over the bridge. And I love him whose soul is over full, that he forgetteth himself, and all things are in him. Thus all things become his downgoing. And I love him who is free of spirit and free of heart. Thus is his head only the bowels of his heart, and his heart forever causeth his downgoing. And I love all who are likely heavy drops falling by one out of the dark cloud that lowereth over men. This is another metaphor for that bridge, this dark cloud business. They herald the upcoming of the lightning and succumb to the heralds. And lo, I am the herald of the lightning, and the drop heavy out of the cloud, and the lightning, however, is the Superman. We'll continue right after this.